guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally catching up on all the books I read in June and July. We're almost there. Let's jump into it. The next book I read was Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I kind of liked this. In this, we are following werewolves and a girl who gets entangled with werewolves. And that's all I'm going to say. I think this is very much a classic YA book. I gave this 3 stars. I don't know if just because maybe I want more kind of like adult fantasy werewolves. But it was okay. It was a fun listen to. It just didn't blow me away, and I don't think I'll be continuing on with the series. I read The Book Club by CJ Cooper. This was not a great thriller. I read this for a book club I'm a part of, and I didn't enjoy it. It read more like a catty literary drama than anything else. Very soap opera-y. And in this we follow a woman as she's moved to a new town, and she's made friends with people, but then a new lady comes and is causing problems and dragging up everyone's past, and it wasn't very good. I gave this 2 stars. It didn't feel thrillery. It felt like a really bad soap opera. Then I found one of my favourite series, the Daevabad trilogy. So The City of Brass, The Kingdom of Copper, and The Empire of Gold. This was so good, and it played with my emotions so much. And I'm glad that I finally read them. I was waiting for this to come out in paperback before I could binge read all the series. It's totally worth it. It's so good. The audiobooks as well are brilliant. And let's talk about this. So we are following Nari in 18th century Cairo, who is basically a con artist. She doesn't believe in magic, so one day she is performing a magical ceremony and magical things that might happen. Wow. And the series just builds and builds and builds, and I adore it. I know people have mixed feelings on where things went, but I thought this was executed perfectly. I want to reread these. I've already lent these out for people to reread. My father-in-law read them and loved them, and they make my heart happy. They're so good. So good. 5 stars, if that wasn't clear. Then I read The Familiars by Stacey Halls. This was very good. In this, we are following Fleetwood as she is the mistress of Gawthorpe Hall. She's 17 and married and pregnant again for the 4th time, but she still doesn't have any living children, and she's worried about her husband, and he's impatient for an heir. But she meets a lady called Alice, and they form this beautiful friendship, and then Alice gets dragged into the witch trials that happened during this time period up north, and Fleetwood tries her hardest to save her. And it was very good. 4 stars, and stunning cover. I really did enjoy this. This was so much better than the first book club pick, and I can't wait to join our book club to chat about this. Then I read The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This was good. This is dark academia perfection. I gave this 4.5 stars. I really did enjoy this, and it might be because I was missing Cambridge quite a lot. So yeah. This, we are following Mariana. Mariana? Is that her name? Yeah, Mariana, as she is dealing with some struggles in her own life, but then her niece calls and says something is happening at Cambridge University and people are dying. So, as any good aunt would do, she goes to check on her niece, who she's a caretaker for, and weird things are happening. There's a weird cult-like student society, people are dying, and it was good. It was so good. It gave you dark academics. It gave you slimy men. It gave me creepy atmosphere. It was good. I enjoyed it. And I think this is making me rethink how I felt about The Silent Patients. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I really love this, and I bought this from my local bookstore. This was the first book I bought from my local bookstore, and it was signed, and I'm so happy because I was so worried I wasn't gonna like it. That's the only downside, is they only had signed copies. Then I read Crescent City. Crescent City? Is that the name of the book, or is it House of Earth and Blood? I read this book by Sarah J. Maas, and I loved it. It was definitely 4.5 stars. Really good. Really, really good. In this, we are following Bryce as she is dealing with losing her best friend, and there's no real leads, and so she's contacted and asked to be a part of the case, to help solve it, to figure out what actually happened to her friend. And wow, it was good. I listened to the audiobook and I adore this. This is one that I'm going to be continuing on with, and I definitely am finding myself enjoying Sarah J Maas's writing and going to be continuing with her series. I did just buy the Throne of Glass series, so I'll be reading that and finishing up the ACOTAR series as well. So yeah, again, I will be buying all these. I want them all on my bookshelf, but yeah, I understand the hype, guys. I understand it. She just writes good books. They're good. I picked up We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I found this at my local free little library and decided I was going to read it. This is definitely not as thrilling or suspenseful as I thought it would be. It definitely, for me, fell more into contemporary, but maybe that's because I knew the ending. But I'm just going to read the back because I don't want to spoil it, and I think the less you know, the more thrilling you might find it. And it says, "We are liars, we are beautiful and privileged, we are cracked and broken, a tale of love and romance, a tale of tragedy, which are lies, which are truth, you decide." And in this, we are following Cadence or Cadence? Is it Candace or Cadence? Cadence. And she is recovering from trauma, and things aren't quite what they seem when she gets to go back. Is that a spoiler? I don't think so. But yeah. So take what you will with that. I thought it was okay. 3 stars. So the next book I picked up was Snowblind by Ragnar Johansson. This is Nordic noir. I adore this series. Well, this style of fiction. I want to read more in this series. I gave this 4 stars. It was very good. And in this, we are following Ari Thor as he it's a rookie cop who takes a job wherever he can, which happens to be this small fishing village, which I can't say properly, so we'll just put it here. And he goes there in the winter where they get blocked off because there's only one way into the town. So when avalanches happen, they get, snowed in. Darkness is prevalent, like 24 hours a day. And then people start dying. People start getting attacked, and the secrets are held. And he gets just, tied into all this. It was very good. I can't wait to continue the series. It was very atmospheric, and you definitely felt the snow and the darkness. Very well done. I can't wait to read the next one, which I think is Blackout. And they are short books, but they are very good. Then I read Dear Mrs. Bird. And in this, this is set in World War II London, and in this we are following Emmy as she is working as a shop clerk, and also as a firefighter aide secretary who answers phones at night during the raids. And she really wants to be a female war correspondent, and she thinks she's getting that opportunity to start work at a newspaper, and little does she know the work is not at the newspaper but at a woman's magazine where she is helping write articles for Dear Miss Bird. And there is a catch. There are such strict guides to what Mrs. Bird will write about, and so things ensue from there. It was funny, sad, amazing, there's a sequel and I can't wait to read it, and I gave this 4 stars. I read My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. I don't think I've rated this, and I'm not sure what to rate it. I enjoyed it, so it's probably like a 3.5, 4 stars. In this, we are following a couple as they kill people and kidnap people for spice reasons. It was good. I enjoyed it. I think I was a bit underwhelmed by some of the things that happened, but equally I liked some of the things. I'm very confused about this book, basically. So I think I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. Yeah. Oh no. Then I read The Humans by Matt Haig. I thought I was going to adore this book. In this, we're following an alien as he is sent to annihilate a person and his work that could change the universe. But he also starts to observe humans and really truly discovers what it means to be human. I thought I was going to like this because I really did like How to Stop Time by Matt Haig, but I didn't really enjoy this. This is like a 2-star read for me, and it makes me sad. Which means the book club, in all honesty, is like a 1-star read. Yeah, I just didn't get on with this. I found some things to like spot on the nose, as well as it was just a bit boring. It dragged. It took me so long to read this to be such a short book. I just found it a bit meh. And then I read After the Quake by Haruki Murakami. I haven't rated this because it is a short story collection and I'm really not sure how to rate it, but this follows 6 different characters and the effects that the Kobe earthquake has had on their life. It's surrealist, it's a bit magical realism. They don't all necessarily make logical sense, they all are very good and they all have very quotable moments. As you can see, I've tabbed at least 1 or 2 quotes from every story. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Then I read 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton, and this was intense. This had my heart racing. This was like just hit on so many important topics and left me breathless so many moments. And in this we are following a very prestigious liberal school who has been the target for a school shooting and hostage situation, and we follow the 3 hours that, you know, this all takes place, and it was good. I highly recommend you reading this. I gave this 5 stars. It is a very well done literary thriller. I can't there's no way to sing its praises because it was so good, but so just heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, terrifying, and dealt with like a super heavy, serious topic in a very eye-opening way. Then I read Touch of Darkness because TikTok made me do it. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It had some spice. It was just a good time overall. It's a more modernized Hades and Persephone retelling, so they're in a more modern city, you know, nightclubs, computers, journalism. It was fun. And if you were looking for, you know, a fun time with Hades and Persephone, read it. I don't have a rating for this, probably like 4 stars. Yeah. So then I read this chunky boy, and I'm so happy that I finally read this. This was like 1,300 pages of the life of like 5 or 6 people. So you follow them as they're kids, and then you follow them as they grow up. You follow a builder, a woman who doesn't want to be trapped by societal standards, a peasant lady who loves this person so hard that she sacrifices everything, and they're all friends, and you see how power can harm people and like really go to their head, and how horrible humans can be. It was just so good, and we'll read the back. And if you don't know, this is the same person who wrote Pillars of the Earth, and Pillars of the Earth is one of my favourite books. On the day after Halloween, in the year 1327, 4 children slip away from the cathedral city of Kingsbridge. In the forest, they see 2 men killed. As adults, their lives become braided together by desire, determination, avarice, and retribution. They will see prosperity and famine, plague and war, yet they will always live under the shadow of the unexplained killing on the fateful day, childhood day. And eventually, at the very end of the story, you do get, like, what happened as the kids. It was so good. And, like, that little bit of, like, kids' view of the world that you see as them as children, like, the first chapter or 2, just, like, foreshadows so much of the rest of the book. It was good. And for something that should seem, like, you know, a bit mundane, a bit boring, he does a good job. He does a good job. This is like 4.75. I don't know. I don't know how to rate this. I really did love it. I don't think I loved it as much as Pillars of the Earth, but it was close. So I think it's like realistically a 4.75. Yes, I use point systems because of books like this. And the last book I read in July was Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. In this, we are following a lady named Christine who has had a traumatic brain injury, which means every time she goes to sleep, she forgets basically everything, who she is, who she's married to, her life, and she has to start anew every morning. And she begins to doubt the person. And so she begins to doubt the person she is supposed to be able to trust the most. And thoroughly things ensue. 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Right. So now I'm all caught up. I shouldn't get behind again, which means I will be doing an August wrap up. And you guys, I miss this. I've missed chatting about books. I'm so excited to like have a space and a place where I can sit down and just have my books stacked around and have all of them in one place again. Like, yeah, I will be doing a video about like the house transformation, what it looks like when it's done, because I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's only like 3 things that I didn't feel comfortable doing, like replacing our fireplace, putting down tiles because our wall is a bit wonky and it has like super jaggedy cuts, and I didn't feel like I could do that, and laying carpet. So things that I can't do is the things we're waiting on now. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I hope you all are staying happy, safe and healthy. What was your favourite book that you read in June and July? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye guys!